I need everybody to repeat after me. Rock bottom is bad. Rock bottom is the worst item in the game, and I'm gonna prove it mathematically. I did 10 different Isaac runs, giving myself rock bottom at different points throughout those different runs to mathematically prove that rock bottom is mid. And while I have your attention with these bold statements, make sure to like and subscribe if you do not agree. You legally have to. Thanks for subbing. Oh, hey, and one thing I kind of forgot to mention. Each of these runs are going to be done with Kane, going Devil Deals, trying for Boss Rush every single run, and going to Hush every single run, just to make sure they're all kind of the same thing. I'm not playing different characters, doing different things. Okay? Okay, cool. All right, so the way we're doing this is I'm showing off the different runs I had throughout everything. So run number 1, I gave myself rock bottom on the very first floor, starting off with rock bottom. And we can see at the very top of the page what the ending stats will be for this entire run. So I'm going to be skipping throughout this run, kind of showing you guys the highlights of what happened and kind of what led to the stat difference at the very end. But as you can see, I'm going to skip to the very end just so we can see it outright. But we can see at the very end, we ended with 2 damage with 13.22 fire rate, 38 damage, 33 range, and 3.5 shot speed, and 9 luck. Okay, we had a lot of stats, though, comparing it to removing rock bottom and seeing the stats afterward. We can actually just see on the screen right here how many stats were taken away. 0.68, 0.69, somewhere in there. But along the way, the few different key items, you can actually see the trinket I have in the bottom left hand after that goes away, is actually Liberty Cap. So the first key thing I got throughout this run to help basically adjust my stats is Liberty Cap. Now, if you don't know, Liberty Cap does actually give you different stats of the different mushrooms, like Mini Mush or even Magic Mushroom. So getting at least 1 proc of Magic Mush in a room will give you a big damage up for the entire run. Now, keep in mind, if you get other damage ups along the way, the Liberty Cap thing won't really matter too much, as you'll need to get another Magic Mush Liberty Cap proc. But right here was another big one. If you didn't see, I'm going to rewind it a little bit. A huge growth card. Okay, look at all the stats that go up after you choose huge growth. Listen, 16.98 for the damage. Hold on. Pause. To 28.32. Okay, huge growth was a big pickup for all of this. Okay. Besides that, I'm pretty sure later throughout the run, not a whole lot of other things happen. As you can see, eventually I got Binge Eater over here. So Binge Eater obviously will give you additional stats for all the different HP ups I got. So obviously that helps a lot. And you can see I'm actually wearing it here with the Dark Prince's crown. Does give you a tremendous fire rate up if you have 1 single red heart. So this did proc eventually for me, so I did get a little bit of a tears up from that at the very end of the day. But other than that, I think other things I found was the Succubus. I had the aura around that, as you can see floating around here. I had a D8 at the very, very end of the run. There was a D8 within the chest. So I went around and used that just a little bit. Oh yeah, and eventually I found a quad shot. So like a few different things at the very end of the run to kind of push it over the top, because the fire rate down I would have gotten would have been crazy. But one thing I didn't mention is one big pickup, and the reason why my fire rate didn't go to complete shit after I got rid of rock bottom, because obviously picking up Mutant Spider would make my fire rate very, very bad, or at least a lot lower than it's showing right now is 12.76, is I picked up Libra. Okay, Libra is the difference maker here. If I did not pick up Libra, I would not have kept all of the stats I did, because even after taking away rock bottom, which is what this is here, I still have 12.54 fire rate, which is a ton even without rock bottom. So at the end of the day, rock bottom for this very first run, getting it out of the very off the cuff first floor, I only got 12 damage, 12 range, and a little bit of fire rate. No luck, no shot speed, but besides that, it's still decent. I mean, it gave me a little bit of stats, which is nice. But I'm gonna be real, this is not Q4 worthy. So run number 1, B tier. All right, second run up here with rock bottom. This time giving myself rock bottom on the second floor, not even the first now. So skipping to the second floor, we actually do pick it up. As we can see here, from picking up rock bottom on the second floor instead of the first, I actually got less stats than I did on the first run, for whatever reason. This time, I only got around 5 fire rate up. Well, I say only 5. 5 is a lot. Don't get me wrong. I went from 5.37 fire rate down to 0.38. Now, there are a few different reasons as to why with the different items I eventually pick up. Let me just skip to the end so y'all can kind of see the chaos of the final bit. So a few different things that happened here. Again, for this same run, I found another D8. For whatever reason, I found another D8. So that gave me a whole bunch of different stats throughout the, I think it's only towards the end of the run I actually found it. I only ended up using it 4 times because I believe I found it in the chest once again. But this run, I obviously had Haemolacria. I found Matt's Kidney Stone. That is a huge one. Finding Matt's Kidney Stone with Rock Bottom will give you such a big fire rate up no matter what your tiers are looking like. Even if I didn't have Haemolacria, the tiers would have been even more. I think I found these around the same time, so I didn't get that much of a tiers up, at least that I should have been. But besides that, different things I found an Emperor's card at one point. I think I also have Inner Eye at the same time here, as you can see from the different tiers. I say, as you can see, you literally can't see but trust. Trust, I have Triple Shot. Also have Dr. Fetus with Haemolacria. So it's really cool. I do a lot of damage. Luckily, I did find Pyromaniac as well. It did save me. I believe it was during the Hush fight, actually. Hold on, let's skip forward to the Hush fight because it was actually a little bit insane. Because at this point, I just got Haemolacria with Dr. Fetus and did not have Pyromaniac. And then it just saved the run. That literally saved the run. It was a crazy find in the Hush fight. Anyways, the Hush fight was super easy. I just kind of pressed forward and everything died. Anyways, what did we learn at the end of this run? We learned that Rock Bottom will only give you a little bit of stats up, even if you get it in the early game. Okay? But before we move on to the next run, I mean, obviously, we started with Basement 1, went on to Basement 2. We're going to keep going each floor, giving myself another Rock Bottom. So next floor up is going to be Caves 1. Well, next up is the... Wait, what? They died.
Shit, man, the only thing less witty than your Isaac runs is your haircut, Huts.
Secret tunnel. Where did an anti-tank rifle?
Thought without one of these.
Hey, it's me. I'm wearing an Isaac shirt.
Oh my fucking god, it worked! It worked!
Alright, so third run up here. Really, nothing happened on this run. So this is the one where I'm going to give myself Rock Bottom on the 3rd floor. So on Caves 1, I'll skip forward a little bit. I pick up Rock Bottom here. I had already found Eye of the Occult. I already found Chaos. A big point of pickup there is I did get Chaos this run. But as we can see from the final stats, I had 33 damage, which ended up going down to 8.4 after I took away Rock Bottom from my build at the very end of the game. Now, I'm not going to spoil what I picked up to give me all this damage, but I will give you a hint. It rhymes with Gagic Much. No, wait, no, it rhymes with Jagic Mush. No, it's Mega Mush. I got Mega Mush. That is literally the only thing I found throughout the run, which is very, very sad. I think at one point, I mean, with the Rock Bottom sets, I got basically nothing. I mean, going a little bit throughout the run, I found Holy Mantle, which is great, but the Chaos pickup did not actually help out too much, which is actually kind of surprising to me. I kind of thought Chaos would go crazy. I mean, I found some items which give decent stats, but nothing that essentially helps with Rock Bottom. But I did find, let's go back a little bit, just to, so y'all can see when I found it, because it really just affected me mentally. Okay, I found Gish, I beat the boss, I go in the Angel Room to give me the one single item. That will help me throughout the entire... I was a little frozen in fear. But yeah, if you don't know, Mega Mush with the rock, the mushroom with the rock, crazy combo. As you can see, it gives me just a flat 19 damage up for the rest of the run. Okay, that is the only item I found, even when going through the chest, which gave me a significant stat up. Everything else was kind of very null and void. I mean, obviously the 18 damage up is a little bit different from the 25.2, so maybe I found one or two more items towards the end, but really nothing very significant. I mean, the whole run was really just me getting Mega Mush, going room by room, killing some stuff, even in the Hush fight. It was very... yeah. Listen, I'm a Chaos believer, but this run almost made me a Chaos Denier. It was very bad. Like, look at this room. That's bad. This is not good. Anyways, I end up getting, like, Loki's Horns and Tractor Beam. The tiers don't really matter at the end of the day. What matters here at the end of the day is I beat the run. I removed Rock Bottom from my build, Pause Champ, and I got rid of 25 damage somehow. So actually, without Rock Bottom, I would have 1000% lost this run. It was so stupidly mid for a Chaos run, which is so sad. Because look at my items. After I got Holy Mantle, what? I got Bogo Bombs, Pact, Loki's Horns, Mom's Contact, besides Sci-Fly. Sci-Fly's cool. Besides that, that's kind of it. That's kind of Able. Sorry, I left out Able, my bad. Very important Able pickup. But besides that, I really got nothing from this. The only thing to mention is throughout the run, or towards the end of the run, I did actually get Perfection. But the only reason I did not pick up Perfection is I'm covering it up right now. We'll see. Hold on, just give it a sec. We're gonna watch together what happened to my Perfection. Hopefully no one saw and spoiled it. We're gonna sit down and watch this as a class together, because I think we all need to learn a little more about ourselves. Tick just kind of spawned in the middle of the room as I was going to clear stuff, and as I beat the boss of this floor, I got Perfection. This is the most unfortunate thing to happen to me since the Birthright video incident. Terrible incident to me. Anyways, this run really not that good. I mean, I even found the Golden Ringworm, which would have been great for that tiers. I'm gonna go back just a little bit so y'all can see the actual trinket. Because I think after I beat the boss, yeah, in the chest, yeah, Golden Ringworm, which would have basically been a pretty decent tiers up. At least if I just picked it up once, which would have been great. But too bad, didn't happen. Anyways, third run, kind of mid. Kind of mid, fellas. Only a little bit of damage up. Kind of mid. All right, moving on to the fourth run here. One of the, obviously, the stats you can see at the very end, not the best. But I gotta say, for the start of the run, a crazy start to the run. Sci-Fly first treasure room. This was not this was pre-recorded. Shit, how do I beat the allegations? Anyways, here's the seed. Go play it yourself. Anyways, crazy start to the run. But for this run, obviously, I'm giving myself Rock Bottom at the beginning of the 4th floor. So just a precursor to before I get there. Obviously, found Sci-Fly, some tiers up, found Quince, Small Rock. One thing to mention, I will find Small Rock in some later runs. Finding Small Rock after you find Rock Bottom is nice. Therefore, it takes away that speed down you would have gotten. I found this one before Rock Bottom happened. So sadly, I still got that speed down, but not that big of a deal. Anyways, found some Pentagram, found some other items. Moving on to the actual 4th floor here, and I'm giving myself Rock Bottom. But I did find Goat Head. I found the robes and stuff. So decent stuff to find early on. But after this, I actually don't find too much to affect the overall run. I think at some certain point during the run, I do found another Liberty Cap. Alongside, I just picked up Wiggle Worm here. It's covering up the bottom left. It's on the screen. I picked it up. I got Wiggle Worm. Got a little bit of tears up from it. Not the worst thing ever. But again, I did find Liberty Cap a little bit later. I don't know what I was doing there. But besides that, nothing else really crazy I found to pick up that really affected my overall damage. I think at some point, actually later on, I'm going to skip forward a little bit. Maybe towards Boss Rush, because I believe this was a pretty crazy run. Because I did find Flatstone. Now, Flatstone by itself isn't the best thing ever. But it does have some really funny synergies if you find something pretty cool. If you find something pretty cool, then Flatstone is also, through mitosis, also, I found Parasite. Okay, I didn't pick it up because I'm stalling. Parasite plus, look, every bounce, it does a Parasite split. Really cool. Has nothing to do with Rock Bottom, just gushing about this cool run I had. Anyways, it was a very fun run just after I found that. Before that, kind of boring. But since I found that, obviously moving forward in the run just a little bit, obviously found Lead Pencil, nothing really affecting the stats here. Now, eventually, I did find Lusty Blood. Now, getting that Lusty Blood pickup would actually help out my damage and fire rate a lot, which is what the main, basically, uptick, which when my Rock Bottom stats were from. It was from Lusty Blood itself. Besides that, I think I found Tapeworm towards the end of the run for a little bit of range up, which is why I had the 2.5. Besides that, nothing else I really found throughout the run, even in the chest after everything. I didn't find too much to help me out, which is kind of sad. I mean, I did get Eyesore, and I'm going to be honest, I did not need Rock Bottom this run. This is a one run without it. So this is one of the rare instances, Rock Bottom, not needed, and I would say, only giving me 8 damage, what a bad item. What a bad item, only giving me 8 points of damage. I need a little more to make me think that it's worth it. Anyways, that's my controversial take. Anyways, here's like the end of the video where I take away my stats. You can see all the numbers and stuff. Anyways, only 1.5 tier rate up, only 8 damage up, only 2.5 range, and nothing and anything else. I didn't get perfection this run because I'm stinky at the game. You can't expect to get perfection every run, right, fellas? Right? Fellas, I got some bad news. The bad news, look at the top right of our screen up there. Look at those stats. Okay, dare I say it, rock bottom is a bad item. Dare I say it, this run is proof. So this is the 5th run. Gave myself rock bottom on depths 1, the 5th floor overall. But listen, okay, I guess I shouldn't skip forward. Let me not skip ahead of myself. A few things happened during this run, even before I got rock bottom, that I have to talk about because it basically makes the trajectory of this run kind of crazy. The very first floor. Hold. Still hold. Everyone holding? Okay, anyway, the very first floor in the shop, as Kane, we found a golden pill. So obviously we spammed that to death. We spammed this too much. Let me put this on like times 4 speed. Is that an option? Times 2 speed. Anyways, I used this pill a lot. I got a lot of verps, I believe, as well. I spammed the living shit out of this golden pill. It was actually insane the amount of times I got to use it. Now, obviously, this is what set up my run to actually be good. So in my opinion, golden pills, rock bottom's down here. Golden pills are up here. A lot better, obviously. Now, besides that, the ending stats I got for this run overall, not a lot. Only a little bit of speed. Just a hair of speed. Besides that, a hair of range. And the only other thing to mention is I did actually get perfection this run. You can see I got 17 luck by the end of the run, but still ended with 9. Obviously, after the first floor, I had 3 luck, which is a very good start, but moving forward, I guess I'll move forward a little bit during the run. I don't think it really matters for the whole rock bottom analysis, but I found brimstone on my devil deal on the second floor. Then I got monster's lung, and then eventually I got mom's knife. That was very early on during the run, before pre-rock bottom. Didn't even need it. Eventually, I did get rock bottom. After that, I didn't find too much to actually help out the run besides perfection. Whenever I got perfection, that did obviously help out the run a lot more than anything else I found throughout the rest of the run. I think towards the end, I did actually find Deadeye. Now, Deadeye, fantastic, does not work with mom's knife. So sadly, that did not do anything for me. But one thing to point out here is I did actually get a Thame. Now, a Thame with 17 luck, actually insane. So obviously, a Thame itself is not something that is really affected by rock bottom unless you get a lot of luck. So I think a Thame is actually pretty good for all of this here. Did actually help out a lot. Besides that, obviously going into Hush and everything, it was super easy fight. I got astral projection. But other than that, no main stats besides maybe the small rock here. Obviously, the small rock would give me the damage or the speed down, which is why we see that 0.2 speed missing at the very end. That's the main reason why. Besides that, I'm gonna be real, fellas. Rock bottom didn't do shit. Obviously, in the chest here, this is where I found Deadeye. But that didn't do anything for me. I found Leo, Decap Attack, a Brawl. Okay, that's kind of lame in my opinion. So, like, fellas, is rock bottom mid? Really makes you think. An item that gives you 0.2 speed up, 0.5 range, and 8 luck? Is this a bad item? Only 8 luck? All right, moving on to the 6th run here. Obviously giving myself rock bottom on the depths 2, or just the 6th floor. I don't even know if that's the right room for this run, but it's fine. The 6th floor, I gave myself rock bottom. So early on, not a lot going on here. Found some decent items. Got me a marked early, some Guppy's Collar action. A little bit of damage here and there. Not the most crazy run out there. Found the virus. Found some other stuff. But one thing to mention is I did get... Hold. Perfection. Fellas, I got perfection naturally on the 3rd floor, or 4th floor. Look at me go. What a good Isaac player I am. Anyways, the smart thing I do... Pause. I didn't do it yet. I'll probably do it after this room, is I smuggle perfection. A lazy Matt man special. I'm adopting it myself as the other Matt in the scene. No, obviously, perfection smuggling is when you just drop perfection and you take it to the next floor. Now, I don't know if that was really cheating or not, because I knew I would be getting rock bottom eventually. So I figured saving my perfection to make sure I get that guaranteed luck up after I get rock bottom would be better. So that's what I do this run, which is why I have, again, the 9 luck up. But also, all the other stats we can see, I had a decent all stats up. None of them too crazy. Maybe the fire rate's pretty good at 2.6. But I got a little bit of speed up, a little bit of damage up, not a whole lot. A little bit of range, a little bit of shot speed, a little bit of everything here and there. But the highest thing was obviously the luck and the fire rate I got. Now, besides that, because I had the high luck later in the run, I'm going to skip forward a little bit here to after I actually get perfection. I actually picked up mulligan. Okay, obviously, I picked up rock bottom eventually. I locked in my luck stat at 13, which actually doesn't change for the rest of the run. But I got mulligan, which does a proc off of your luck. I think I may be wrong, but high luck with mulligan is not bad at all. Besides that, I do end up getting dead onion. Getting dead onion with rock bottom is actually not bad either, because the biggest downside of dead onion is how big of a shot speed down I got, which is why I had such a big shot speed, like stats from rock bottom, is because I picked up dead onion. So it's actually a good combo there for that item. Besides that, I do get it, I believe this floor, yeah, Dark Princess Crown. Dark Princess Crown, again, giving me such a high amount of fire rate up. If people are underrating Dark Princess Crown, it gives you such a high fire rate. Fellas, don't sleep on it. You need a lot of things to lock it in. But if you do have rock bottom, having Dark Princess Crown, only needed the proc once to make sure I lock in that such a high fire rate is crazy. It's really, really good. Besides that, obviously I'm doing Husher, and a rare instance. You can see in the bottom left, right next to me here. I'm using Torn Photo, or Torn Card, with the My Reflection Ipecac shots to help do damage, because my run was so mid. Listen, I was busting my balls out here trying to do some damage to Hush. I mean, the Ipecac shots were nice. It only hurt me sometimes. It wasn't too bad. But besides that, you can also see, I got Dim Bulb. The Dim Bulb stats obviously locked in as well, so those are very nice to have. So mini all stats up for the rest of the run. And as long as I keep on to it, it'll stay at that all stats up, because I kind of comboed it with the Jar of Everything to make sure I can always get the Dim Bulb procced every room, which is very nice. Besides that, I don't think much else happens. I eventually get money equals power, actually, at some point during the run. Somewhere in here, I got... where is it? I swear I picked up money equals power eventually. Anyways, getting knockout drops with a lot of luck was nice. I swear money equals power is here somewhere. Is it in this specific room? Am I stupid? Oh, I know, I got it way earlier. Oh, no. I got money equals power way earlier in the run. And because of how money equals power worked, I felt fine spending my money throughout the run. Because it only locks in the highest amount of money damage you have. So even if you spend money, you're fine, because you can then get more money to get your damage back to where it was and then get more. Anyways, it was a fun little combo. It wasn't that bad. Overall, rock bottom was just a glorified sausage, if you ask me, with just a lot of luck. So not bad for the sixth run overall. I can't count, but fellas, yeah, that huge, massive rock bottom gains. All right, well, moving on to run number 7, where I give myself rock bottom on the Womb 1 floor. So this means I obviously need to go through both Boss Rush and Hush now without rock bottom. Not the biggest issue. Wait, Hush is after the Womb? Before the... No, it's at... Never mind. I take it back. I have to beat Boss Rush without rock bottom, not Hush. Anyways, don't worry about that. But the stats I got at the end of the run, not a whole lot. You can see the 0.5 fire rate, around 6 damage up, 1.5 range, and 0.2 shot speed. And we can all see I didn't get perfection this run. Boo-hoo, I'm bad at the game. Whatever. It's not going to happen every run. We can't guarantee rock bottom's going to give you a 10 luck up every run. Okay, fellas? Not going to happen. This run, leading up to, I guess, Boss Rush and all the middle floors, nothing really happened. I got Little Brim. I got two towards Spun. I think the biggest thing that happened here is I found Maw of the Void early, which really carried the run throughout before I got rock bottom. Eventually, I did end up getting Conjoined as well. Now, Conjoined obviously does innately give you a... Actually, I'm going a little too far forward. Conjoined will give you both a damage down and a tears rate down. As long as you get Conjoined after you get rock bottom, you will then not get those stats down. But sadly, I'm pretty sure I got Conjoined before I got rock bottom, so I still got to enjoy all those glorious stat downs from Conjoined. So not the best, but obviously Conjoined is nice to have. Now, eventually throughout this run, I did find a 1% chance for a planetarium, which I did spoil earlier. We found Neptunus. Now, the one thing to mention with Neptunus, this is the one where not shooting has that little charge bar happen around your character. Okay? And since that little charge bar is full, whenever I shoot out like a bunch of tears really, really quickly. And you would think that would make your fire rate go up, and therefore your tear stat with rock bottom would go crazy. Sadly, that is not how Neptunus works. It doesn't actually give you any stat ups. It just makes you shoot out tears really fast, but does not affect your stats at all. I think it's kind of bogus, because that would be a crazy combo. I gotta say, just having Neptunus by itself and Rock Bottom would basically be a one run. Sadly, it's not how it works. You have to use Neptunus sparingly, which happens. But besides that, I did find Tapeworm as the trinket to get a little more range up, which is where my additional range here actually came from at the end of the run. Besides that, obviously, just some normal stuff here, nothing super crazy. Oh, I guess this is a kind of a funny thing here. I had Yara in my pocket. It found this room, and I Yara to Soul of Lilith, which you would think, wow, that's crazy. 2 Soul of Liliths for free. I got a BBF, Bold, Pause Champ, and Little Chubby. So, like, Pog Champ, Little Chubby, but not the... Anyways, I thought it would be better. But besides that, the only other cool thing to mention before I got... actually, I guess after I got Rock Bottom, hold on. Is I'm pretty sure I skipped out of the boss rush fight. I just full card out of there. Got myself a Rock Bottom. Now, obviously, this point of the run, we already have Conjoined. We got Worm Friend, a little bit of Tears Up. We already got Mom's Contact and everything. Nothing super crazy, but the run's decent. The run is decent. But moving on over to Hush is where I had a little bit of issues. It's because my run wasn't the best. Like, don't get me wrong, I found Twisted Pair, which was crazy. It made the run very cool with Neptunus. Now, my damage stat is 6, okay? I already maxed out fire rate. I have a damage of 6. Not a big number, mind you. 6, not a big number for damage. The one thing that did actually save me is we just saw it. I'll go back. We actually used Glowing Hourglass, which thank God I picked it up. Because I'm pretty sure I went in here once. I went down to 1 heart after I beat the beast. And not the play, fellas. Gotta say, not the play. 1 HP after the Hush fight. I know I beat the Hush fight, I believe. But coming out of there with 1 HP, not the play. Anyways, nothing to do with Rock Bottom. But at the end of the day, I beat Hush. I moved on. I kept playing the run. I was hoping this guy would pay out with something. He didn't. Spoilers. Oh, I got this little plum guy with like a golden hat. Look at him. He's hiding in there. Look at him. What's he doing? Who is that guy? Anyways, the run turned out a little crazy at the end. Because at the very end, I got $3 bill. I got fruitcake, one after the other. And I got Linger Bean. Crazy items, you ask me. But that with Neptunus, on top of, I think I had the thing that makes money in the sack sometimes. It was really good. Anyways, even with all this, it looks crazy. It looks a lot crazier than how it actually plays. Because look how fast I beat up Isaac. Or Blue Baby, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, he's kind of dead. Well, he's getting there. Anyway, it is a crazy run. But the only downside is that Neptunus doesn't proc with Rock Bottom, which is the worst thing at the end of the day. But either way, it's still... I mean, Rock Bottom gave me 6 damage up, a little bit of range, a little bit of shot speed. Not the best item, but any item that gives me 6 damage, again, 6 damage for free, quote unquote, hey, it's pretty good. Not the worst thing ever. Moving on to run number 8, where I give myself Rock Bottom on the Womb 2. On the second Womb floor is when I get myself Rock Bottom. So a lot of early game to get through before that even happens. So the first thing that I really want to mention for this run is I do actually end up getting a really, really early Conjoined. Like really early. Now I'm saying really early in my notes. I'm hoping that's true. I found Sister Maggie right away. 3rd floor. We found Robo Baby 2.0. And then we get Brother Bobby. So very early on Conjoined. I didn't lie to myself, which is good. But that just means I don't get to I don't get to not lose the stats down from Conjoined after I get Rock Bottom. Anyways, net positive, but it could have been even better if I got Rock Bottom or I got Conjoined after Rock Bottom. I do end up getting, obviously, very mid-run so far. Not a whole lot of good stuff going on for me. I do actually end up getting a lot of golden pills. Now, I mentioned it before. I had a golden pill on the first floor. This one, I got a golden pill as my first pill on the run, so I verbed the golden pill. I swear at least 5 or 6 times. And I just spammed the living shit out of it so much. To see if even another one spawned. I did this for a long time. I was having a grand old time. A lot of balls pill. A lot of decent stat ups. As you can see, 25 luck at the end of the run. Now, keep in mind, I did actually get perfection on this run. So I did get that 8 stat luck down because I did end up losing perfection eventually. But even without perfection, I had 17 luck, which is insane. I don't need Rock Bottom when I already have 17 luck, okay? It's insane. But besides that, besides finding Conjoined, Mutant Spider, all these golden pills I'm going through, one of the biggest pickups, which actually I don't think I made the best use out of it, but eventually I did find, I don't even know where it is in the run, but I found a reverse chariot card. Now, I don't know where it is exactly in the run. I should have timestamped it for myself. But the reverse chariot card is the one that makes it so you are basically turn into stone. Instead of the normal chariot card where you turn into the unicorn guy that turns into rainbows and runs into things, you now turn into stone with a 4 times tier rate multiplier. Okay? It makes your tiers go insanely stupid. So I used that eventually. I think it may be towards the Hush fight. if I'm not mistaken. I forget exactly when I ended up using it. It had to been, I think it was in this room, actually. Hold. Because I have 8.4. Oh, yeah, verse here, right here. Because I have 2.1 fire rate. And then it ups it by 6.3, which keep in mind, since I have rock bottom at this point, I just got it on this floor. I lock in those additional stats, which is crazy. Now, obviously, after I use this, I find some other tiers up, which makes the tier up difference a little less. In theory, I could have definitely saved this towards the end of the run to try to maximize the amount of damage I would have gotten from it. But I felt like that's not how I would have played if I played without, you know, I would have just used it as is in a normal run. So that's how I used it here, just to give myself the stats up right away so I can use it for the current run I'm in. So I think that made the most sense at the time. Besides that, I didn't end up finding Hive Mind with Crazy Luck is Crazy. I ended up getting Small Rock eventually as well. Obviously, the speed down from Small Rock is where I got this little bit of stat difference. Besides that, I did end up getting a Libra towards the end of the run as well on the Hush floor. So it kind of messed with my stats just a little bit, but not too much. It really affected any of the differences in stats towards the end of the run. Besides that, the only other thing to note is towards the very end of the run in the chest, I just got C-Section. Yeah, I found C-Section. I think I found Parasite in there too somewhere. I think it may be coming up. Yeah, I found Parasite right after. Hold on. Yeah, it was, yeah, it's crazy. It's a good run at the end of the day. But again, for this run, we got it so late. I mean, we didn't really need it. I mean, it helped out a lot, don't get me wrong, when doing like the Hush fight and stuff. But the end of the run stats didn't really change too much after I got rock bottom. It changed a little bit throughout the run, but towards the end, it didn't do too much for me. It did help when it did. But overall, fellas, for run number 8, I'm going to give this one a solid... Yeah, we'll give it a high B tier. A high B tier. All right, well, moving on to one of the most lamest runs I've ever had with rock bottom in my life. Now, as we can see from the ending stats, a lot of zeros, a lot of rock bottom doing absolutely nothing. But before I even get there, rock bottom, I would give myself onto Cathedral. So after the womb floor, after I beat Hush, that's when I would give myself rock bottom. Now, I'll give you a little spoiler for the run. It's not that good. I found, obviously, biggest thing, rubber cement, a few tiers up, a few things regarding luck. I ended up getting stop bottom at one point. Again, I found Neptunus. I had another 1% planetarium chance on this run, which also had Neptunus in it. A crazy coincidence if you ask me. Because again, the Neptunus thing does not proc towards, it doesn't give you any kind of stats up with your tiers with the rock bottom stuff. So sadly, not the best. But it still helped out throughout the run, just not with rock bottom. Now, after I did get rock bottom... Oh, hold on. I beat up Hush. Don't even worry about it. I beat Hush somehow. I don't even say somehow. It was a decent run. Like, again, I didn't need rock bottom. Because I guess it is good to note here. On the Hush floor, I did actually pick up Red Stew, which is why you see my damage slowly going down. Is because I do actually maintain a bit of Red Stew after I beat Hush. There was just a little bit left. And after I get to the Cathedral, you can see my tears or my fire or my damage still going down. But after I get rock bottom, it kind of locks in to give myself around a 5.81 damage up from the Red Stew kind of just trickling over into it. And I gotta say, fellas, this is the only stat up I get from rock bottom for the rest of the run. Now, obviously, the last 2 floors, don't expect a whole lot of stuff. Keep in mind, I have 7 luck just naturally. I think I got this Spirit Charm early on to give myself a 3 additional luck, and I found some luck up pills throughout the way. Never got perfection this run, sadly, so I couldn't smuggle it to the late game floors. But even during the chest, I didn't find much to help my stats. Now, I'm going to skip forward a little bit. Obviously, I got Car Battery, Dunce Cap, which was funny, Varicose Veins, Glitter Bombs, 9 lives, Sack, some HP. Besides that, that's really all I got. The chest didn't give me too many items that really helped with rock bottom. Therefore, no stat ups were given with rock bottom. So really, spoiler, I guess, who would have guessed? Getting rock bottom later in the run is not that good. I'll say it. Rock bottom, D tier. But it still gave me 5 damage up. Maybe it's, whatever. D tier, I said it. So, fellas, I know we were just talking about how, getting rock bottom at the end of the run makes it bad because you don't get many items that really help with rock bottom. This run is an outlier, okay? This run isn't real. This run never happened. So this is going to mess up all the stats. Fellas, this run messed up all of my stats, all of the charts I made, I'm going to show after this, all messed up because of this one stupid run. I found a shit ton of good items on the chest, which obviously gave me a flat 21 damage up, a bit of speed, and a bit of range. But an item that gives you 21 luck is insane, okay? Now, before we even get there, early on, found myself some tears up. No worries there. Basically, at some point during the run, I got a double restock machine to give myself... well, eventually I got Brim, because I think I used the... no, I used the restock machines in the Devil Room to give myself Brimstone. And then I also had Booger Tears on top of that. I think at some point I got, like, Homing, I think. I may be wrong. But I got Guppy at some point. I got a Thane. I got a bunch of good stuff. Okay? I don't even know what I... Oh, I have the Reverse Judgment in my pocket here. I used it eventually, I swear. I used it in here to get my Guppy. I use it again. Pause. 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 Hold. Hold with me. I get Brimstone. Was it worth it? Should I use it in the Secret Room? I don't know. I got Brimstone. That's cool. But anyways, moving on to what we really care about. After we get to the chest, I gave myself Rock Bottom. Instantly got Purity for an extra little damage up. And I got an Odd Mushroom for a little more damage up. Besides that, I got Technology to go alongside my Brim to give me even more of a damage up. Okay, we still following. Besides that, what's giving me damage? I'm thinking. I know. I have Binge Eater. I got Binge Eater to get even more damage on top of it. Makes sense. Okay, okay. And then I got even more. Oh, because I have Liberty Kit? What's giving me the stats? What's giving me those extra stats? Anyways, I have 48 damage now. I don't know what's making... Oh, is it my Purity stat stacking on top of my other things? I think it is. Anyways, I used the Devil card at the end too. Anyways, there's a bunch of stuff I got in the chest just to, you know, piece the resistance to make sure all my stats were fucked up at the very end. I got a lot of damage at the end. So I guess with that being said, fellas, even Rock Bottom at the end of the game is not bad. Who would have thought? At the end of this run, Rock Bottom gotta be honestly an item that gives you 21 damage up. S tier. I'll say it. S tier. Whoa. So, fellas, we're at the end of the video. We're gonna show off all the stats. Now, behind me, we can see all the different stats at the very end of the run. These are just the stat differences from the end of every single run, just kind of on the list together. So obviously you can see from run 1, we got like 12 damage up, a little bit of range up, and it kind of, you can see all of them for the rest of the run. Now, the very important thing to note here is the averages at the very end. I think the averages are the coolest part about this information, kind of letting you, when you pick up Rock Bottom, how many stats are you expected to get for yourself? Now, the coolest thing to note is you're expected a little bit of everything, obviously. A little bit of luck, a little bit of shot speed, but the most important bits, you're most likely to get at least a little bit of damage up. Now, the average here for these 10 runs was 8 damage total. I'm sure if I did more runs, this would, like, even itself out. It may go a little lower, it may go a little higher. Now, if I picked up an item that gave me those exact stats, that would be quality 4. But let's look at the rest of these graphs here first before we jump to conclusions, fellas. Because, fellas, I made some charts. I made some graphs. The first graph is very messed up because of the very last run. But just follow me. Ignore the last bit. Ignore the last one way over there. We can see an overall trend going down. Okay? You can kind of see it with the damage stat. The yellow is the damage, fellas. Okay? Look at the damage. Kind of okay damage. Really good for one single run. But it eventually does go down. Okay? It goes down. It kind of stays down. Until the very last run happens. But still, you can kind of see an overall trend. If I had like a little plot with points, you can see it slowly going down. Now, obviously, some runs are going to be better than others. So if I did more runs to kind of balance out the stats, you can probably see how everything goes down and squishes into an actual formation of a line going down. Better early, worse late. I'm going to say it. The last run kind of fucked up all my data. I'll say it. But another fun graph here is you can see the overall stats, how much it goes up and down between runs. So just imagine this as one big number of stats you get. The first few runs, you get a lot of stats. And eventually, it does go down throughout the runs. Now, if you get it on floor 4, floor 5, floor 6, around the same, even for 7 or 8, around the same, but slowly going down and down in a trend until you get to the last run, where you just get a crazy amount of damage up. Again, don't look at that one. Don't look at that one. But the very last one here, again, a different way to see it, but if you want to look at specific stats and how they go in trend, you can look at something like the green is range. You can see a big range up early, nothing here, and it kind of just slowly goes down. And I guess towards the middle runs, it's kind of just a little bit in the middle. Anyways, what is this showing us? You may be asking, Matt, you have all these cool graphs, you did all these cool runs. What do all these averages and stats really tell us at the end of the day? Well, class, this was my my course on Rock Bottom. I clickbaited you. I'm so sorry. Rock Bottom deserves to be quality 4. Okay, if any item gives you 8 damage up on average, that's quality 4. Anyways, like and subscribe, and I'll do 100 runs of Rock Bottom. If I hit 1 million subscribers, I'll do 1 million runs with Rock Bottom. to make sure all the graphs are better. Anyways, bye. Thanks for watching. Bye, fellas. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.